They hired us that night. They gave us $10 a girl per night. And I thought it was great. I'm still in school. And my mother was a little upset because she said, now, how are you going to get your homework done? I said, don't worry, I'll get my homework. You know you make me wanna...
Phil always had a mad, wild crush on Ronnie and thought she was like an exceptional-looking girl, which she was, and had a very strange, unique sound. He fell in love with her. I thought he could really make her into this monumental star. And I think a lot of his other acts did suffer because I think everything was geared for Ronnie and the Ronettes.
We met Phil at a place called Mirror Sound in New York on 57th Street. And the first night we walked in, it was just him sitting at the piano. And he looked at me, and I looked at him. It was like eye contact. And he says, well, sing me some songs. I said, all I know are like Frankie Lyman and Little Anthony and things like that. He said, well, let me hear it. And I started singing, why do birds sing so gay? And Phil stopped. He said, that's the voice I've been looking for. And then right at that same night, he took us in the studio and played us a song he had just cut with Darlene Love called Today I Met the Boy I'm Gonna Marry.
And we're gonna sing the very first record that I had under the name of Darlene Love. When I had already met Ronnie in New York, and we had really gotten into talking about Phil Spector, and she was asking me what kind of person he was, and I said, you don't really want to know him, da-da-da-da. She told me then she was going to marry him, and I went, ha ha, gotta be kidding. She didn't even know him yet.
Every kiss, oh, this is it. My heart keeps saying, today I met the boy. When we get...
I think because his feeling for me was so strong at the very beginning, and mine for him, that's when he started writing the love songs. I mean, like you said, Do I Love You, Be My Baby, Baby I Love You, because I think it was the love he had for me and the love I had for him. That's what showed on the records.
The boy I'm going to marry, he's just what I've been waiting for. Oh, yeah. With every kiss, oh, this is it. My heart keeps saying, today I met the boy I'm going to marry.
Phil made a mistake, because, you know, he would have, like, his little crazy fits in the studio, and he was yelling or something one day, and he knocked his elbow against a switch. And I was still singing. He said, well, leave it like that. And that's how I started singing in the dark. And I think after that, Phil said, well, I don't want anybody to see it but me. So I wasn't allowed to go with Cher anymore or Darlene. I wasn't allowed to see the other girls. I would just sort of left with him all the time, so I never got a chance to be in the studio having fun. They would turn off the microphones, and I could see the faces. They were having fun, but I didn't know about what, because I was always sat in the control booth with Phil. And from that day on, it got worse and worse. I mean, I just got more secluded from everything. The Rolling Stones were our opening act in England, and we were on the bus, and they never spoke to us. I said, what's going on? We wondered why these guys weren't speaking to us. So I went over to Andrew Oldham, which was their manager at the time. I said, hey, how come you guys are so cold? Is it supposed to be England? They said, no, honey, Phil Spector sent us a telegram saying, don't talk to you guys. I said, you gotta be kidding. He's crazy. And then we made friends.
He was a difficult person.
Very bright, a brilliant composer, arranger, producer. He was kind of calculating.
Strange, lovable, frightening.
Playful. He was like Peck's bad boy.
Guarded. He was erratic, eccentric.
There was also something very vulnerable about him.
He was brash.
Was he frightening? Yes. Was he talented? Yes.
Philly was an artist.
Was he crazy?
He hired Minnesota Fats to teach him how to shoot pool.
He was better at that than karate, I think.
Yeah, I never saw his karate. Shall we play?
Go, mother. Let's see his tap. Oh!
See the way he walks down the street. Watch the way he shuffles his feet. My holds his head up high when he goes walking by. He's my guy. When he holds my hand, I'm so proud. 'Cause he's not just one of the crowd. My baby's always the one who tries things they've never done, and just be that they say.
The beginning of the song had to be exactly the way his melody was. I mean, he didn't want you to deviate from it at all. But by the second verse or the last chorus out, he would kind of just like give me my way and let me sing the way I wanted to sing on the end.
He is always good to me, good to him I try to be, 'cause he's not a rebel, no, no, no. He's not a rebel, no, 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 to me. He's a rebel. If they don't like him that way, they won't like me after today, 'cause I'll be standing right by his side when they say he's a rebel and he'll never ever be any good. He's a rebel 'cause he never ever does what he should, just because he doesn't do what everybody else does.
When we did He's a Rebel, Bill made us overdub at different times, and on the end of the record, when he wanted me to match my voice, that I already did some whoas, right? And I was supposed to do that again when I overdubbed, and I couldn't do it. That's why the end of that record has all those no, no, no's in all those different places.
Except for Ronnie, I think Darlene was the Spector sound. I mean, I think Darlene was, I guess, the most schooled voice he had to work with, the most versatile and the most schooled voice he had to work with. And I just think she was terrific as far as just what she contributed to the background singing, her control, her... I mean, I think she was a typical 60s soulful, street gospel singer.
Every evening when the sun goes down, I lay my head.
Darlene?
I wanted to sing gospel music, and probably if I never would have gotten into rock and roll or met Phil Spector, I probably would have geared my career gospel Marian Anderson. You can just express yourself in so many ways. Singing gospel, it can be soft, it can be sad, it can be uplifting.
I don't have to have oohs behind it, okay? Let's forget about the intro for now. Let's just come right in. 1, 2, 3.
Every evening when the sun goes down, I lay my head on the pillow down. Every evening when the sun goes down, I lay my head on the pillow down. You gonna keep that other part the same?
My voice was on mostly all those lead songs, but from what he did to them, he put the Crystals' names on them, Bobby Sox and the Blue Jeans, Darling Love. Nobody knew the difference. It was just a sound, and they listened to it, and nobody was saying, that's Darling Love doing all that. But see, after He's a Rebel, then we did all the background for the Crystals, the Ronettes, Bobby Sox, and the Blue Jeans, and the same people did Darling Love's background. So the sound continued to be the same.
He also owned most of the names, so he had the right to make whomever he wanted to be the Crystals, because he had the name. So anybody, any 4 girls, 2 girls, 5 girls, whatever, could be that group.
He would even come in and say, this is going to be your next release, and release it under the name of Bobby Sox and the Blue Jeans.